It is ridiculous to charge the West with causing the crisis in Ukraine. In fact, it's almost laughable when the actual true source of all the conflict through this whole entire region for the last 200 years has been Russia, and under its other guise is the Soviet Union. A quick look at the map will indicate the fact that Ukraine's tortured history has been at the whims of a much larger power north of it. Even if one were to forget history for a moment about the harvest of sorrow during the 1930s when the Russians starved 5 to 7 million Ukrainians, or the continued repression under the Soviet regime, it would be laughable to consider that Ukraine is a threat to Russia when they're trying to have their own economic independence. The peaceful demonstrations that happened in Maidan Square in Kiev were truly the voice of a democratic people wanting to be free of a Russian overlordship that is trying to dominate them politically, economically, and socially since the fall of the Soviet Union in 1991. That is the true people who came out during that. Yes, there are divisions within the country, as can be seen in the recent 2010 elections, and yes, there are divisions within the Ukrainian state itself on linguistic, cultural, and ethnic lines. But in no way do these divisions erupt into massive violence without the tacit support, actually the explicit support and encouragement and military cooperation of Russia. This is nowhere more apparent than when Russia annexed Crimea in 2014 under the guise of trying to protect its own nationals, when in reality, Russia is trying to exert its old imperial control over the whole entire Eastern European sense. This is why the rebels that are happening in Eastern Europe or Eastern Ukraine are actually a threat to all the Baltic states and Poland, because they know the next thing on the list is Russia's continued expansion throughout Eastern Europe. This is why the military maneuvers by Russia, quote unquote, protecting themselves on the border, are equated with Hitler's actions in 1938. Where Russia will stop, no one is really sure. And it's obviously fabrications about its military operations are clearly manifest. Yes, part of Ukrainian's government has had some historic ties, but this is no idea what the country is about. And this crisis was caused by Russia, manufactured by Russia, and has been continued by Russia. They are to blame.